Authorities are still on high alert following the disappearance of a rare exotic animal intercepted in a smuggling operation off Jamaica's southern coast. Now, the incident reignites concerns about the island's vulnerability to wildlife trafficking and its impact on national security and biodiversity. Here's Shante McNeil with more.
The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, says it's strengthening interagency collaboration in response to a rise in exotic animal trafficking on Jamaica's shores, a trend the agency has been closely monitoring and working to curb. This follows news that an ocelot cub intercepted during a smuggling attempt off Jamaica's south coast went missing while being processed at the Black River port in St. Elizabeth. The small spotted wildcat, often called a mini jaguar, has raised concerns about public safety and environmental risk tied to the trafficking of exotic species. NEPA's environmental coordinator, Ricardo Miller, says traffickers are taking advantage of gaps at the nation's ports.
So we are engaging these agencies to ensure that they have training being done to identify these things. And over the years, we have had several cases. We've had, in some instances, the animals have already made landfall here in Jamaica, and we have now gone ahead and retrieved from individuals who've had monkeys, for example. Some of them have escaped, and I don't know if you may recall some cases where we've actually caught monkeys that were escaped from individuals in the wild and take them into custody.
Counselor at the Hope Zoo Preservation Foundation, Joey Brown, says the cub, whose gender is still unknown, is a protected endangered species and is often smuggled for its skin.
A lot of people don't realize how there's a big black market pet trade for these illegal animals that are being trafficked around the world, which is exactly what happened in this case here. And so that's one of the biggest threats in the wild right now. And these poachers will often, since it's quite difficult to get adults, what often is they find a kitten, and then that is taken unfortunately, from the mom at a very young age.
While experts say the ocelot size makes it less a physical threat, they're urging the public not to pet, feed, or approach it.
These are wild animals, and the possibility of it carrying some form of disease, is fairly high, and that could be transmitted to humans. So we implore the public, if they see it, to simply call NEPA at 754-7540 or to call the nearest police station.
And for those tempted to keep it, there could be legal consequences.
Persons who are caught trying to smuggle these animals into the island, persons who are caught here with them in their possession, there are breaches to the Endangered Species Act, breaches to the Wildlife Protection Act, and the Wildlife Protection Act, for example, carries a fine of up to $5 million or up to 5 years imprisonment. Very similar charges for the Endangered Species Act with regards to illegal trafficking.
Shante McNeil, CVM News.